The radio talk show host who is with me here in Los Angeles, and Democratic strategist and member of the Democratic National Committee, my friend also, Robert Zimmerman. All right,
great
Robert, I'm going to
you
first. Oh, it's great to have you. You should be here. It's only 6 o'clock here.
Exactly.
All right, let me ask you this, Robert. Civil disobedience. I get it. I get it. Protests, I get it. When you start blocking roads and you start getting people to cancel events for safety, isn't that anarchy?
Look, we both understand that civil disobedience is part of our American tradition, part of our American heritage. We also understand that violence is not a liberal or conservative issue. It's tragically part of our society. The bigger issue here is when you have a presidential candidate stand up in front of his rallies and offer to pay for the legal bills.
Robert, you're not answering my question.
May I finish my sentence?
Wait a minute.
No,
the question was about civil disobedience.
I'm sorry?
The question was about civil disobedience.
That's correct.
Do you see this disruption and the interference of people's First Amendment rights as civil disobedience?
Look, civil disobedience, peaceful protest, is also a form of First Amendment rights. But the bigger issue here is, the bigger issue here, Judge, is having Donald Trump offer to pay for the legal bills if his supporters beat up protesters. The bigger issue is Donald Trump advocating violence at his rallies and saying that there will be riots if he's not the nominee.
Okay.
That's the kind of statement that conservatives have condemned and Democrats have condemned.
You're pivoting on me. Look, here's the bottom line. This Democracy Spring is saying we're going to get pro bono lawyers in Philadelphia and make sure thousands are arrested to stop him.
Well, Judge, Donald Trump is offering to pay for the legal fees for people who beat up his protesters.
Oh, let me ask you something. Shouldn't Bernie Sanders disavow these protesters blocking the ability of Americans to get to listen to a presidential candidate?
Bernie Sanders has already been very, very clear in opposition to violence.
Did he disavow it?
He has disavowed the violence. He's disavowed the disruptions. He's been very clear about that.
Larry Elders, go. Larry.
Shouldn't the Democrats disavow Debbie Wasserman Schultz when she said in 2012 the Republicans want to, quote, drag us back to Jim Crow? Shouldn't the Democrats have disavowed Joe Biden when he said about the Romney-Ryan ticket because of their desire to loosen the regulations on Wall Street? They're going to put y'all back in chains. What about when Hillary said to a predominantly black audience, this place has been run like a plantation? And you know what I'm talking about. My point, Judge, is that Democrats constantly play the race card. Claire McCaskill, the senator from Missouri, said George W. Bush let people die on rooftops in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina because they were poor and they were black. This is standard operating procedure for the Democrats. Yet Donald Trump says, let me just finish. Donald Trump simply says, I'm going to pay for somebody's legal fees. Oh, my God, he's incendiary. He's Darth Vader.
Judge, you're telling Larry's telling half the story.
Go ahead.
Larry said that, Larry, to quote Donald Trump correctly, he said he paid for their legal fees if they beat up people who were protesters. The bigger point is, Larry, if you want to protest some of the Republican positions. I'm sorry?
Okay.
Drag us back to Jim Crow?
By the way, look at the Republicans. Look at the Republican policies. Look at the Republican positions. That's what they're talking about.
But
the bigger issue here, Larry, is this. You've got a Republican Party where 44% of registered Republicans think that the president's a secret Muslim. To that crowd, the Duck Dynasty is a think tank.
That's not where I'm going. Robert, listen.
Yeah,
why is Donald Trump so popular if he's so, such an extremist?
Because,
why is America supporting him?
I'll tell you, Judge. The answer, first of all, is he's speaking to a party that's become so extreme. Duck Dynasty's a think tank.
No, he's speaking to Americans.
Oh, let's look at that. Hillary Clinton's got over 1 million more votes than Donald Trump in this political process so far. Over 1 million more votes than Donald Trump.
With one opponent. Trump got that out of 17.
All you do is talk about Trump's greater enthusiasm.
Double standard again, Judge. He mentioned that 44% or so think Obama's a secret Muslim. Who brought up the issue? Hillary did in her campaign against Barack Obama in 2008.
Larry,
we forget about that.
Okay, you're going backwards, guys. I don't want to go backwards.
The point is, Democrats play the race card. They play the race card constantly. You let Donald Trump say one mild thing, not the quite way that somebody else would say it, and he's a racist. He is a bigot.
All right, you know what this tells me, guys? It tells me that this election is going to be one of the most watched and one of the biggest, I believe, in terms of the American public getting involved. And that's all good, because this is America.
It's great for America.
Robert Zimmerman, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Judge. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you.